Hi.
So welcome everyone. We will just wait some seconds to have other participants on the platform. Here I am, Yalda Bayat, the marketing manager of my DSO manager, accompanied with my colleague Jeremy Crooks, our credit project manager.
Hi.
You would like to say hi? Yeah. There's some other participants saying hi to me. I know, Shad. I think we have some good enough numbers of participants to start our webinar today, and it's gonna be a kind of different format of webinars from my DSO manager side. Actually, that was a topic that we came across with Jeremy and other credit experts inside the company. That would be interesting for all the credit managers. And the idea comes from the fact that we are dealing with different clients in a corporate level basis. And as we have gained several experiences, we thought that maybe it is worth to share it with our audiences. So the topic is corporate level credit management challenges and the possible solutions that can be brought up by new technologies and digitalization. So how we can actually move on is that I am going to present some challenges that we have experienced with our more than 1,500 clients. Am I right, Jeremy? And then Jeremy would bring up some solutions that can actually explain how these challenges can be solved. Don't hesitate to write your own questions during the webinar. We will be able to answer them all at the end of the webinar. And for actually, one general information is that for any topic of webinars, we regularly launch monthly webinars. And for any topics that you are interested in credit management, don't hesitate to contact us so we can plan it in our webinar plannings and ask our credit managers to present those topics. So let's start. So as I said, we are going to present challenges and solutions one by one. And what we have thought as challenges to presenting for today's webinar are 8 main challenges that we thought they are worth to share them all with you. I am going to have a brief of all communication, clients, volume, multiverse aspect of credit management, data compartmentalization, customer relationship digitalization, democratization of the software, and any new technology, actually, implementation, adaptation, expertise, and support. So let's go to the first challenge, which I guess is kind of the most important challenge of credit managers, as they say, actually. Which is communication, actually. When we talk about communication, everyone imagine that it's one of the main things in any job. But what is very specific about credit management is that there are different processes in credit management, right, Jeremy? For example, dispute management, dunning process, actually customer relationship management, and in a corporate level basis, actually, there are challenges of a team management. So no matter in any process that you are dealing in credit management, you are facing this challenge of communication. So it's very important in big companies that how they can solve this challenge and come across with a better management of communication. Back to you, Jeremy, to explain your possible solutions.
Yeah, thanks, Yelda. So communication is all about providing the right information to the right person at the right time. And we do believe that only the digital allows you to be that precise. And in order to do that, well, in my DSO manager, for example, you are not limited by the number of users. You can create as many users as you want. Uh, the sales representative of your companies, the accountants, and so on. The idea being that if for a reason you need a sales rep to intervene or an accountant to issue a credit note, you can simply identify them and send them a request. Um, Same goes for the customers. From time to time, you will have not only to remind the accounting at your client's level, but also the dispute department, for example. Well, in My DSO Manager, you also are not limited by the number of external contacts. Same, the idea is to be precise, to identify the correct person and send them the correct information about the invoices. And last thing is, well, the collection scenarios. Since you can create as many scenarios as you want, well, you can have different dunning strategies to be precise in your reminder, sorry, and to who you are targeting. And this is how softwares like ours issue this problem with communication, these challenges. Back to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's very interesting because when we are talking about communication and credit management, it's not about anything inside the company. Actually, there are different stakeholders. For example, on the internal side, there are commercial people, financial staff, the credit management staff in different entities, and also the external like stakeholders, for example, credit insurers or any company or partner that the credit managers are dealing with. So it's very important to have this kind of technologies when they are doing communication, whether internally or externally. Oh, nice. And the next question, the next challenge, actually, we would start to share with our audiences was that clients' volume becomes actually kind of complicated when we have, for example, a company is in the phase of developing and they are getting much more many clients as before, and one of the aspects is that the tracing all those open items, tracing all the clients, all the invoices. For example, we have clients that they say we are millions of invoices on a daily basis to deal with, and how we can keep actually the same quality when dealing with our new clients. And actually the clients themselves are different, they are coming from different culture, different parts of the world, and their size is different. You need to actually have different strategy, and thinking about all these aspects on a daily basis becomes very complicated for credit managers when they want actually to do their basic jobs. So how first of all, is this possible to do the same as traditional ways of credit managing as before and deal with this challenge, Jeremy? Or if technology can help us, how it would be?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me show you. Indeed, Yala, you're right. A an important volume of clients can be challenging because each client is different and you do not handle them the same. For example, some customer will only pay you using PayPal, for example, or Stripe. Some other customers will only reply to your reminders if invoices are attached to it. Top accounts will maybe require a credit insurance and so on. So all these micromanagement, sort of speaking, can be time consuming. The idea in My DSO Manager is to centralize it all. And for this, we propose what we call the constellation, based on the solar system. At the center, you have the software, My DSO Manager, and gravitating all around, you have different connectors that you can plug to My DSO Manager to, well, centralize the efforts. And as I said, here you have your customers using a payment solution. Here are your invoices. If they are all in a SharePoint, well, now by plugging it into my DSO manager, your invoices are in there, and so on. So that's the idea. Uh, what can be done as well, if I go back to a My DSO Manager platform, here is at the scenario level. Here you have all of your templates, and in there you dispatch, your different customers. Here are most of your customer in the standard collection scenario, the English-speaking ones. But you can as well create, for example, a Chinese collection scenario to put your Chinese customer in there. And here is a French collection scenario and a Dutch one, and so on. My DSO Manager offers a variety of predefined scenarios, but of course you can create your own scenarios. And since I'm on that topic, in the scenarios, you can create for each action a precise template of email, letters, SMS, text message, that will be sent to your customer using what we call the hashtags, dynamic hashtags that will populate your email and create logos, statement of account, export buttons, and so on. And plus, to conclude on that topic, the SaaS architecture is made to be evolutive and to handle a huge amount of customers. Back
Yeah.
to you, Yella.
Yeah, it's really interesting that once you have you're increasing the volume of your clients, you definitely need a plan, and then behind that there would be a strategy for donning process of each client and different digital portals that you showed. It's really actually very important to make it easy for credit managers to have everything at one desk when they need different tools for their job. Thank you, Jeremy. Next challenge, actually. Uh, it's actually interesting word to share with you and being used by so many professionals in credit management is the aspect of multiverse of credit management. And what does that mean? It means that, for example, in a corporate level, when a credit manager is dealing with different clients in different parts of the world, uh, they will have to deal with different currencies, different communications, different entities, different so many multi aspects, actually multi language, multi entity, multi currencies. And the credit managers, they have to follow their own indicators, and once it becomes to multi-aspect, they need to gather all those indicators. And for example, the group head of treasury of a corporate needs to follow the indicators and KPIs on a group level. But then these multi aspects of credit management makes it much more complicated to have a global view of what is going on in a corporate level. The possible solutions of technology can be actually gathering all those data in one place. But let's see how you would explain that, Jeremy.
Yeah, sure. Let me show you. Um, First, I like the term multiverse. I don't know if, like myself, you are a Marvel fan, but it seems like multiverse is the new trend right now.
Yeah,
So
this is.
yeah, it is. Well, in my DSO manager, as I showed you earlier, this is a multi-entity for your different legal entities. Here is the Chinese one, the French one, English one, and so on. The idea that each platform is its own universe with its own DNA, its own culture, and so on, but they are existing in parallel. So here, for example, if I log onto the Chinese company, I have here, well, the platform in Chinese with a dunning process respecting the Chinese accounting first in, first out method. And I also have reminders based on the Chinese culture. Same goes with France. For example, if I click here, everything is in French. and the dining process will respect, for example, French office hours, and will leave us alone when we are on strike, for example. And then you have, for example, the last one, the UK company, and in there, same thing. If the ERP is different and the currency is different, it still works. You have another platform respecting the English codes. And that's how we issue that challenge in my DSO manager or in other SaaS solutions.
Yeah, it's interesting, and all those information are in real time.
Yes, they are.
It's interesting because everyone wants to get the information as soon as possible these days, and yeah, it's kind of useful to have the different entities in one platform. And I imagine, for example, the donning process in Asian countries is so much different from those on South America or in Europe, etc. So having all those entities at one place will really help for the analytical side to gain a better approach of KPIs. Very interesting in my point of view. And the next challenge, data compartmentalization, which is kind of followed up by the previous challenge that we shared, because when you have different entities in different parts of the world with different teams, you will definitely have different accounting softwares, different digital tools, different data formats, actually, right, Jeremy? And the challenge comes from the fact that you need to kind of collect all those data and make a same format for a group level. How can this be possible, actually, for a corporate level company?
So let me show you back to our multi-entity in my DSO manager. So as you say, usually corporate have a, well, global view of the business, of what's going on. And here, well, you can see several platforms as I showed you earlier. And here I have a aging balance, corporate level view for the entire group. But that balance is split here by company, by legal entities, allowing you to quickly see what's going on in France, in the UK, in China, and so on. And plus, if you want to, here you can also filter the company, the report, sorry, using filters by clients. Here I can see that my aging balance is impacted the most by the English customers. Same goes for example, the invoicing, sorry, the invoicing reports. Here is your revenue, and you have the split by legal entities. So the idea is that to address that challenge, you need the flexibility to go from corporate view to very precise view in the legal entity, even at the customer level. And that's how we address it in my DSO manager. And as we said, no matter the ERP, no matter the currency, we can consolidate everything into one single platform.
Yeah, that's the power of actually new tools, which is not possible at all with the traditional process of credit manager.
Might be complicated, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to next challenge. Customer relationship digitalization, which is kind of based on our experiences with our clients, is kind of the main aspect of their hesitation when they have a project of installing new tools for their credit management department. And this is actually a real issue, because when you are integrating new tools to your departments, it's kind of in direct contact with your customers in credit management, and the decision makers, and even sometimes the credit managers, they are afraid if this new software or technology can have a really bad effect on their customer relationship. And this is one of the main aspects of hesitations when for example, the credit managers, they want to use new technologies. So how this challenge can be solved actually?
Oh, okay. So if I log onto one platform, yeah. So we do believe that the solution to that challenge is an easy access to precise and clear information to be sure of what's going on and to start building trust in the software and in what you can communicate to your colleagues or to your customers. Uh, and in that example, that's the global view. So a global view is basically a sum up of the different reports. We wanted them to be visual so that the users can quickly see in a glance what's going on. Here, for example, is the aging balance, the item status to quickly know the proportion of invoices in promises in dispute, and so on. Here is the level of your sales, and so on. So that's the idea, to have easy access to straightforward informations. And also, since it's a SaaS architecture, these results are in real time. Also, since, as we said before, you are not limited by the number of users, well, everyone can access these reports and communicate them to the people of their choice. And since everyone is on board, well, why not go back to the connectors, go back to the SSO authentication, and why not plug your SSO into my DSO manager to secure the access to these sensitive data.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we are talking about the customer relationship, it's somehow when you are in contact with the customers, you need to have the real time information to have a better communication with them. And as you mentioned that by SaaS solutions, you have access to the information from anywhere and they are accessible for everyone. So when it comes to contacting your clients, you're not afraid that, okay, I'm missing this document or this indicator, or and actually we have there's a possibility of giving access to the clients to their portals. So you will have a direct relationship with about what is going on actually about regarding your receivables with your clients. And based on the experiences that we had, because I do lots of interviews with our clients, and they mentioned that mm, using such technologies, actually they at the end of the day they have a better impact on their brand and their strategy of the communications in donning process with the clients, because the clients get the feedback of, okay, this is serious, this is professional, and it's kind of a positive impact on their image in terms of the strategies of their credit management. So very interesting about the kind of new technologies that can bring to the table for credit managers. And let's go to the next challenge, which is a very interesting topic. We recently had a similar partner with one of our esteemed partners about this topic, and it was kind of a very engaging subject, which is software democratization. We have said that actually it is kind of, I am going to quote our CEO, that credit managers are in no man's land and they are between commercial and financial, and they need to follow up their indicators and at the same time to satisfy the whole goal of the companies. And when the software and new tools are going to be installed in the company, it's very important that everyone, any stakeholder at the end of the day, becomes satisfied, and everyone can get the feel of user friendliness of the software, because we need the people to use the software. And then there are some other aspects of the delay of the project. Actually, the integration process of the software, and also the cost. There are different aspects of putting a new solution in place, which should satisfy any stakeholder inside the company, whether on the commercial staff, financial staff, and the credit managers at the heart of the system. So how this democratization can be possible, Jeremy?
Well, we do believe that while initiating a new project on implementing a tool, any tool, the first impression the provider will give is how smoothly goes the implementation, and that's the first step that needs to go smoothly accordingly to the plan. And SaaS architecture offer that flexibility. It's pretty straightforward. In our case, if I go back to our website and the setup, you can see there that it's a really quick process, less than a month, because it was built that way. Of course, every actor on our sides, on your side, need to work together. But the idea that it's easy, it's smooth, is straightforward. Um, oh, sorry, that froze. And by implementing the tool easily on time, you will get people on board. And then you have to make the information easy to access, as we shown you earlier. And then the rest is just piece of cake. You will get on board, you will get access to information. People will start talking about it, exchanging in the tool, learn how to use it better, and of course still under our expert eyes. We will always be there to accompany you in the use of the tool and help you use it better, in a more efficient way. Back to you, Yalda.
This kind of projects, when it is moderated by the credit manager at the heart of the project, it really makes it different, because for the evolutive part of the project and personalization and integrating, I mean, personal touch of each company, it's really necessary that those who are working behind the project are really coming from the credit management knowledge base, I would say. Thank you, Jeremy, for explaining all that. And let's move on to the next challenge, which they are actually all related to each other, which is implementation and adaptation. The process actually for integrating a new tool, a new software for a corporate may take, I mean, the project level delay. And we all know that actually, as the credit managers, they say that cash is king. The time is very important in such projects. So if, for example, these kind of projects would take, I don't know, the years, it wouldn't be successful at the end. And so the implementation and adaptation of the software to the needs of the corporate, in terms of time, delay, and cost, is really important. And I would like to actually have your idea on that. What are the possible solutions for having implementation and adaptation very smooth and easy?
Communication, definitely. Well, for the implementation, communication, I would say, as I said earlier about the communication, we need the implementation to go smoothly. Then, well, adaptation is another topic, and for adaptation we need flexibility, and that's where the SaaS architecture come in place. At my DSO manager, most of our customer tend to change their mind 3 months, 6 months after the go live of the project, because they have worked on the tool, and now by getting used to it, they say, "Oh, it would be better if I have that column there, that type of information there, that segmentation there." And for us, that's easy. That because SaaS solutions are flexible, and then it's simply a matter of communication. The customer will get back to us and say, "Well, Yalda, Jeremy, I need that information there." Okay, no problem. Just add the data there and we'll make the rest. And in a matter of a couple of days, the tool has been updated and you now have access to a brand new way of working, because flexibility leads to adaptation, or the other way around. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, and the communication aspect that you mentioned is really important. That, for example, the credit managers on the client side, for us actually, when they contact for new for new actually feature, they contact the credit manager as themselves, so they better understand their language, and they don't need to contact, I don't know, an IT developer to express their needs, and that actually means kind of a better qualified communication in terms of the needs to be expressed. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
really important again to have credit managers at the heart of the project.
yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that, because that's exactly the next and last challenge trade managers may face,
Yeah, totally true.
which is expertise and support.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the last challenge because I think we have all the participants staying till the end, but I will guarantee that it would be one of the last challenges, maybe the last, or but I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was that was the last.
Okay, great. So the expertise and support, it's kind of actually important for anyone that is using the software to make sure that those who have provided those softwares, do they have any lifetime support behind that, or is it just once in a life, and when it's implemented it's over? And it's really important to have the general idea of how this expertise and support would be aligned, especially for example when a software is integrated to a company. They would say that, okay, we may need less credit managers, and because the software is going to do the job. But for our clients cases, actually it's kind of different, because the credit managers, they gain the analytical aspects of their job, and they do some strategical aspect of their job, and they actually uh, try to share their problems on a daily basis with our internal credit managers, like you, Jeremy, for example. So how important this expertise and support for the companies like my DSO manager is providing this SaaS software is important for those who are willing to integrate software.
Really important, I'd say, because not all of our customers are trade managers. Since the software is flexible, it's not necessarily targeting only trade management departments. Anyone can use my DSO manager. And one of the specificities of our company is that all of the project managers used to be trade manager, our former trade managers. And the idea is that for us to really understand the needs and the challenges of your company and set up the platform to address them. And so by using my DSO manager, if you are not a create manager, or if you are a create manager willing to learn new things, or learn different perspectives, well, our background can help you, making my DSO manager your academy, because we'll give you what we know, what we've experienced in our previous company, for example. And plus, on top of that, we have a strict onboarding follow-up for our customer. As long as you are a MyDSO Manager customer, our support departments, our colleagues, will follow your platform, will monitor your platform, check the indicators, and check and see how things are going. And then once to twice a year, they will contact you, to take news first of all, but also to tell you, hey, seems like you are not using that functionality, and we do believe that this can have an impact on your DSO, on your results. So why we can offer you a 30 to 1 hour free training session to teach you that way of working. So that's how we'd address that. with my DSO manager.
Yeah, it's very important because when the credit managers they use this kind of softwares, they bring the key strategies to the key clients, and then they better follow their own KPIs, and at the end of the day, actually they are better organized, I would say, and less stressed, and the added value of their job is becoming more and more. It's kind of very interesting, and I think one of the aspects that we didn't mention during those challenges, especially for the data compartmentalization and the volume of clients, was the security of the data, which is very important for SaaS providers in credit management. I would say that when, for example, in traditional way, when you had different documents, different open items, you had to deal with the security of those data by your own. But the companies who are providing the SaaS solutions, they are kind of experts dealing the security of those data, which is the client's data, crucial to be secure, and it's one of the most important things that I think we forgot to talk about.
It is indeed. These are really, really sensitive data, and a lot of people are interested in these data. And to address that, well, several ways, but how we do things in my DSO manager, since our customers are, well, trusting us with their sensitive data, we have to live up to that trust. So what we do is, well, regular hacking tests, well, to ensure the security of our processes. We challenge our processes every year, every month even. Also, all of our external links are encrypted. Plus, there is also security at the server levels. At MyDSO, all of our servers are located in France. Even the backup servers are located in France, and to a company that has made its proof in terms of security and integrity of the data.
Nice, and well done for the team of my DSO manager to be able to handle all these challenges. And maybe we have some questions. I think we are getting to the end of the webinar. Let's answer those questions, Jeremy.
Sure. Let me check. Yeah, we have a question from Paul. That one's for you, Yelda. With the climate change issues, does such SaaS solutions have a positive impact?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of a vast topic.
Yeah.
I will refer to the very expert of credit managers, but it's interesting because we wrote an article recently about that, and people they thought that with digitalization they may have less impact on global warming or climate changes, etc. And it was interesting because the researchers they found some statistics that sending the amount of emails can have an impact on global warming, and one of the things that SaaS solutions can provide is that, for example, in my DSO manager, you mentioned that you can have different collection scenarios and different strategical clients, and it's very important that, for example, these strategies will avoid the credit manager to send several emails. So it's really important to have a collection scenario strategies. We had a webinar dedicated to that. I will invite you to go to our YouTube channel to see that. It was very interesting that how these collection scenarios corresponding to each client can help credit managers to avoid sending several emails to the clients. So that can help actually. The SaaS solutions can avoid sending repetitive emails. I would say that it's one of the solutions, but there are a lot to talk for credit manager expertise actually in this topic. Yeah, other questions that I would bring to you, Jeremy, because
Mhm.
they ask the participant asked about the global view, if it can be customized.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. So let me show you my screen again. That's the global view. As I said, it's a sum up of the different reports. Let's say that you are an accountant, for example, not interested in sales or in item statuses, but rather interested in cash, the receipts, and forecast. So here, simply select these two reports, save, and now these reports are part of the global view. And of course, the global view is unique to each user. Each user can have its own global view depending of its interest.
I love those dashboards. And you
Yeah,
can export that, for example, with a graphical chart or.
yeah, of course. By clicking on any report of the global view, you will be redirected to the report tab, and in there is the report that you may filter using standard filters or even custom filters that you would have created. Plus, here there is always an export button to export the data to Excel and a download button to download the graph and share it with anyone.
Nice. Thank you for the answer, Jeremy. I have another question for you, which is more general. We can both answer that actually. How many percentage of your clients' portfolio are internationally based? I would say around 60% of our client portfolio are based in out of France, because we are actually originally based in France. Um,
Yeah, I'd say 60% approximately. Sorry, approximatively. Yeah.
yeah. It seems that it's really end of the webinar, and thank you, Jeremy, for being available for presenting these solutions to us. And
You're
again,
welcome.
to the participants, if you have any other topics that seems interesting to you, don't hesitate to contact us. We are here for bringing all those topics to the discussion. And
Yeah, you can
thank
contact
you
us at
so much.
contact@mydSOmanager.com.
Yeah, I think we need to go to the end of the
Yeah,
presentation. Yeah, for any personalized demo or any question, you can contact us. Contact at sign.mydSOmanager.com, and have a great day ahead. Thank you for participating. Thank you, Jeremy.
bye bye. Bye, Yada.